Who Works For You begins right now with breaking news.
Good evening to you right now at 10. Take a good look at the picture on your screen here. This little girl is missing. Her name is Lily Buffington. Authorities are searching in a wooded area of Broken Arrow right now. She was last seen hours ago being dropped off from a school bus near her home. 2 Works For You reporter Megan Allison is live there now with the growing urgent search for her, Megan.
Brian, the FBI is now joining the search in this neighborhood of East 33rd Street to find Lily Buffington. The 6th grader is dropped off here after school every day. But this afternoon, the autistic 11-year-old disappeared into the woods. Officers tell us she was dropped off around 3:30. An hour later, the child was spotted on a trail camera about 400 yards south of here. In the hours since, Tulsa police put up a helicopter and search teams from Rogers and Wagner County sent in dogs and officers to cover the 3-mile area. But one sergeant tells us it's challenging terrain for a search.
There's, heavily wooded areas, fields. The significant issue would be strip pits, things like that. We've received no information that she's, close to one or anything like that, but there are strip pits in the area that could be considered a dangerous thing if she come across it.
We also spoke with the bus driver who did not want to go on camera. She tells us the family elects for their 11-year-old to let herself inside, and it's never been a problem. The driver says she didn't leave the area until she saw Buffington at the door, but the mother called when her daughter never arrived. The Broken Arrow Public Schools employee joined the family until search crews arrived. And law enforcement is asking people to stay away from this area as they have 3 search teams and dogs in the woods dedicated to finding Lily. Reporting live in Broken Arrow, Megan Allison, 2 Works For You.
And we have more breaking news tonight. Tulsa police are investigating a deadly shooting in West Tulsa. Authorities say a man was found shot at the Waterside apartment near River West Festival Park. Detectives know the victim's name, but they are not releasing it until his family is notified.
It's not convenient to shop local. It's not convenient to get out of your car anymore.
Only on 2, it is the busiest shopping week of the year, but many stores in Broken Arrow are struggling. Before she went to breaking news, reporter Megan Allison went to work for you, showing you why small local businesses are hurting this holiday season.
It's a smaller number than what many businesses are used to seeing. The owner at Vintage Phoenix tells 2 Works For You sales are down 60% compared to their first holiday season 6 years ago.
Not a priority, I think, anymore. And I may be speaking for ourselves, but it's not a priority for people to shop and lift their neighbors up anymore.
Staff here say more and more people are going online. They describe this shopping season as empty, and owners are worried about putting food on the table.
My wife and I seldom even pay ourselves. And we look at it now thinking we already work 100 hours a week, and we're going to need a second job.
Even stores in the Rose District say they've lost money over the last year, but tell us they plan to keep going with the support of the community.
It is definitely down. It's different times of the day. Usually we had quite a lot of people coming in on Monday and Tuesdays, and those are kind of slow days.
The Vintage Phoenix hosts products from dozens of small business owners across Green Country. But with less business, vendors leave, creating less inventory, and it's harder to get people to walk through the door.
With the way the economy has turned for us, we haven't been able to hire anybody, so it means we haven't been able to expand or grow. So it becomes stagnant or like a stalwart pattern where we just have to kind of figure it out.
Both stores say they're hopeful for a last rush of business in the final days before Christmas. Reporting in Broken Arrow, Megan Allison, 2 Works For You.
And as we go in depth tonight, this week makes or breaks business across the country. And if Black Friday numbers are any indication, it isn't looking good for brick and mortar stores. They say foot traffic on one of the biggest shopping holidays fell nearly 7% compared to last year. However, some chains were able to cash in on the internet boom. Online and other non-store sales were up more than 12% from 2017, with most purchases coming from phones. Right now, we're learning more about an incident at a Tulsa elementary school involving a toy gun. TPS says a student brought the toy to campus today at Emerson Elementary. In a letter to parents sent after students were out of school, officials say there was not a lockdown and that children were never in danger. The district says they will be taking follow-up action. New at 10, a former Oklahoma teacher is sentenced to 7 years in prison for second-degree rape of a student. Carrie Hoffman was arrested in April. Investigators say she confessed to her husband she was having sex with a 15-year-old student. Detectives say she also admitted taking the victim and other students to the teacher walkouts and had sex with the student before and after. Tonight in our Project Safe Schools, a shocking number shows just how bad Oklahoma's education crisis continues to be. The state's School Board Association says nearly 5,000 additional teachers are needed to match the average student-teacher ratio of other states in our region.
This was on the football field at Norman or Stillwater, and we were losing to New Mexico and Arkansas and Kansas every year. We wouldn't stay the same. We would be wanting to move forward.
Bottom line, educators we spoke to say the state needs a new long-term plan to get education back on track. And it's issues like these that are why we launched Project Safe Schools. If you have a story you want us to look into, give us a call there at the number on your screen, or you can send us an email to projectsafeschools@kjrh.com.
Now, your 2 Works For You First forecast, brought to you by Bob Hurley Auto Family.
Well, it was a beautiful day here in East Oklahoma. Plenty of sunshine in the region. We climbed to near 60 degrees for an afternoon high. Since that time, temperatures have settled under clear skies, light winds. That allows for perfect radiational cooling. That's where all the heat from the ground is able to escape in the atmosphere, and that temperature drops. And we've seen that so far here in Tulsa, 40 degrees, Bartlesville, 31. Let's see south winds pick up a little overnight tonight, so that should put lid on the minimum potential for us. We won't drop off too much more. Pryor right now at 36 and Muskogee coming in at 42. What I'm working on, though, for you right now is mild weather that's going to continue. We do have a storm system that's going to move our way by midweek, which we're going to talk about. And will we see a white Christmas? I'll have the answer with your 10-day forecast here in just a few minutes.
Right now, Governor Mary Fallin and the Cherokee Nation are asking the U.S. Small Business Administration for a disaster declaration for Cherokee County residents affected by tornadoes and severe storms late last month. If approved, homeowners, renters, and business owners could get low-interest loans to repair and replace uninsured property that was damaged. More than 90 homes and businesses in the county were affected by the storm. Adair, Delaware, and Sequoia counties would also be eligible for assistance. Only on 2, a Tulsa County deputy's impressive deer rescue this morning is reminding drivers to be extra cautious on the road through the holidays. Deputy Chad Rose was driving to work when he got a call about a deer possibly being hit along North Highway 75. Well, he went to check it out and said the deer was tangled in the guide wire and unable to get free.
I figured when he was just looking at me, I grabbed a hold of his antlers to see what he would do, to see if he tried to move away. But he didn't do anything. He just laid there and just let me do whatever I wanted.
Well, the deer was freed and able to run off, but law enforcement reminds us that deer are popping up a lot more often this time of year and posing a safety risk for drivers. Officials say 200 people die on average each year from deer collisions, and with hunting season and warm weather, more are migrating to our area. Also, crashes with deer can be quite expensive. According to AAA, the average claim cost for policyholders who hit animals was $4,500. And last year in Oklahoma, there were 186 crashes involving deer. For tips on how to avoid a deer collision, just visit kjrh.com. It was a rough day on Wall Street today as the U.S. stock market sank deeper into the red. The Dow fell more than 500 points. The S&P 500 hit a 14-month low. Health insurance stocks fell sharply after a federal judge ruled Obamacare unconstitutional. Experts say investors are spooked by weak economic reports. The White House and Congress, meanwhile, fighting over funds for a border wall. If they don't reach a deal by Friday night, the government will be shut down for Christmas. About 75% of the government is funded until next September, including the Pentagon, the Department of Health and Human Services, and the Department of Labor. But there are still 7 spending bills that need to be passed, including funding for the Department of Homeland Security.
There's absolutely no excuse to shut down government on this issue or any other issue. I have suggested that we revisit a compromise proposal that we brought forth earlier this year.
So even with a government shutdown, critical services will still be in place for Christmas. That means you'll still have TSA agents at airport security checkpoints, and the Postal Service will still deliver your holiday packages. You'll also still get Social Security and Medicare services. Developing tonight, a stunning new look at the scope and duration of Russia's social media influence during the 2016 presidential election. Today, the Senate Intelligence Committee released 2 new reports on Russia's meddling It found the disinformation campaign was far more reaching than we thought and worked to discourage black voters and blur the lines between reality and fiction with the goal of electing Donald Trump president. And it didn't end after the election.
Every platform that these researchers tracked posted more often after the election. We tend to think of this narrative in terms of, coming up to Election Day, but actually intensified after Election Day.
Today, the ACLU announced it was returning a donation from Facebook in light of the reports and asked anyone to log out for a Facebook boycott tomorrow. There is a search ongoing right now for this 11-year-old girl, Lily Buffington. She was last seen getting off a school bus and wandering into a wooded area of Broken Arrow. We'll have a live report on the all-out efforts to find her next. I want to go back to breaking news right now. The desperate search continues in a wooded area of Broken Arrow tonight for a missing 11-year-old girl. There's the picture on the right side of your screen. She is autistic, and now the FBI has joined the local agencies in their efforts. 2 Works For You reporter Megan Allison is live to show us the challenges in finding her. Megan.
Brian, Lily Buffington is dropped off here on East 33rd Street by the bus every day, but this afternoon she disappeared into the woods behind me here, and now dozens are canvassing the area to bring her home safely. The bus driver tells us Buffington's family chose the option for Lily to let herself in after getting dropped off. She waited until the 6th grader was at the door today, but never saw her go inside. An hour later, the driver received a panicked phone call from Lily's mother. Law enforcement tell us at the same time the child was spotted on a trail camera about 400 yards south of here. But as it got darker, the heavily wooded area became a bigger challenge. Tulsa police was unsuccessful in finding Lily with their helicopter. Now 3 search teams are out with dogs to canvass the 3-mile area. And many people have offered to help law enforcement with the search, but for now they're asking everyone to stay clear of here so that they can use their search teams and their dogs to find Lily in the woods behind us here. Reporting live in Broken Arrow, Megan Allison, 2 Works For You.